Hey, kids! You know, as my mentor W.A. Matthews says in Harmonic Experience, there is a relationship between mastery and simplicity. And my friend Cooper today said to me, he was working on his caged sequence stuff and commenting about how the triads are harder to finger out the fingerings for than the pentatonic scales or the diatonic scales, or, the heptatonic scales, the seven note scales. And why is that? Because they have less stuff, so they should be easier, but they're not actually. It's because they have less stuff that they're more challenging. So we're going to look at that a little bit. So as a refresher, let's just share that screen right there. And hold on a second. Well, whatever. I'm sure you're really enjoying this informative content here right now. Okay, great. There we go. All right. There it is. There it is. Maybe I can edit that out. Fine. Okay, so what we're talking about is you can approach Cage from like this. These are the triad shapes, and how to find those arpeggios is the challenge that we're talking about. Whereas the pentatonics are much easier because the pentatonics are just two notes per string, and then the diatonics you just add a few notes in between there, and this is a little sloppy little document that I've given my students to peruse this. But so let's look at what I'm going to look at today is um, this one, the A form. Look at my inimitable handwriting over here. Okay, and I'm going to look at this A form of the cage position as we know it, and you can see um, the shape of the A chord there in the with the black dots there, and then we filled out the other notes from the pentatonic in green. So we said, oh hey, 1, 3, 5, and 8 are in black, and 2 and 6, 2 and the 6 tones of the scale are in green. So if we slide on up here to our just the triad, I should have added one more black dot here at the third fret of the low E string, but consistency, hobgoblin, little minds. What are you gonna do? Okay, so right here, this is that same A form, but we're just gonna look at the triad. And why is it more challenging to work out the fingering for this than it is for this? So I'm gonna talk about that. Okay, so I'm gonna just pop that out of there for a moment, and then I'm going to hopefully get a multiple camera view. And then I'm going to let there be light. Okay, great. So what we're talking about is this. If I just start with that one octave of the C major pentatonic, C, D, E, G, A, C, like that, right? It's easy to find the fingering because all pentatonics can be played with two notes per string, and I always encourage people to use what I call the one and all method to learn your pentatonics. So, which is to say that you either use one finger or you use all of them. It's not going to be the fingering that you use forever. It's just going to be the fingering that you use to learn the pattern and also learn good left hand technique so that your fingers aren't doing all kinds of crazy things so for example, right here, this is a habit I have from my kids that somebody taught me wrong, is that my fourth finger likes to pull out of the way. You'll see it in a lot of my videos, and I work on different things to get better third and fourth finger independence, but I have a long time habit. And what I learned from a classical pedagogy teacher that I had was maybe about 15, 20 years ago, is a really good thing to teach people in the very beginning is just put all of your fingers on the string, because it's the fingers that aren't doing any work that get in trouble. Musicians, I always say, unemployed musicians get nervous, right? So I recommend one and all technique. It's employment for everyone. Don't let anybody get nervous. And so one, all, one, second fret, all at the fifth fret, one, second fret, all at the fifth fret. Okay, that's easy. Easy is good. And here's the whole position: 5 3, 5 3, 5 2, 5 2, 5 3, 5 2. And as I said in my video last week, I'm going to do it, except I'm not going to pull up the C sharp drone. I'm in C sharp this month. I prefer D flat, but what are you going to do? There's C. Okay. I like to have a drone going while I do this because that way you're constantly being reminded when you pass through it. Oh, there I'm on the tonic. Okay. Now, when we're trying to figure out the triad, turn down that drone a little bit. Here are the notes. Well, there's that A form of the chord, but we also have this one back here, and I have this one, a little flat. And how do I figure out how to play that? Well, it's challenging. For this particular one, there are many ways, and you will use many different ways as you move through your playing. Let's talk about a couple of different ways to look at this. First of all, let's just talk about one that is simple and easy. So this one is second finger, third finger, first finger, and then I'm going to bar my fourth finger for the next three notes and then play my first finger. This works really, really well. And for the picking, you can actually sweep pick it. So I'm going to go down, down. Let me do that again. Down, 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 up, down, down, down. And then up, 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 down, up, up. Notice how I changed the angle of the pick. So that it sweeps a little bit across the strings. Let me show you that with both hands. Like that. Now, that's a fairly efficient fingering if you're going to play that arpeggio all at once like that, which I'm going to be honest and say I don't do a whole lot. I play pieces of the arpeggio. So a thing that I like to do in practicing my arpeggios is play little 3-note sequences of them and 4-note sequences of them. It's great to do with scales and arpeggios. So I'll play these 3 notes like that, and then those 3 notes. And notice what happens. It's a little bit tricky as I'm going to go second finger, third finger, first finger, and now I'm going to come here with my second finger to make this reach just a little bit easier. I could have used my third finger again. It's no big deal. It's totally fine to do that. And then 1, 4, 4. And do it like that. That's sort of, this I would call kind of a compromise. It's relatively easy and relatively organized, and I'm proceeding a little sequence of the notes. First, the fifth, the root, the third, then the root, third, fifth, then the third, fifth, root, then root, fifth, root, third, root, third, fifth. Now, it's a combination of what I was just showing you, the most efficient, using the bar, and this next thing, which I am going to show you, which is to make a slightly different fingering for each iteration. Watch that. I did 1, 3, 4. Oh, now this is going to drive some people nuts. 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 1. This way, if you're working on something that you want to play on an electric guitar and you want to have really good isolation between the notes, you have some options. Because now I don't have any notes ringing over each other. I only have one note ringing at any given time. So I'm going first finger, fourth finger, third finger, fourth finger, third finger, second finger, third finger, second finger, first finger, just a little leap right there. Fourth finger, first finger, third finger, first finger. third finger, second finger. Oh, I changed it. On the way up, I like that first, and then I hop up to the third finger. Sometimes I'll even do this. That's crazy, huh? Oh, yeah. Boy, that's really good for your third and fourth finger independence. Most everybody hates that, so, but I'm just that crazy. Most people will just use the bar. I kind of like that. Sorry. 1, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. And now you're saying to yourself, back in the comfort of your computer room or where you're watching this on your iPad, laptop, tablet, whatever, and you're saying, Dan, why are you confusing me with all these fingerings? I agree. The thing is, everybody plays the guitar differently. Every artist makes the line differently, as my good friend Goody says. And the point of exploring these different ways and thinking about what you're doing is to find the way that feels best for your hand, right? The way that I do it is not going to be the best way for you to do it. And so taking the CAGED sequence and taking a diagram like the one we were looking at earlier, or just taking a simple fingering and then playing around with the options teaches you the limits. Each one of these things a limitation exercise. So just a minute ago, I was doing a limitation exercise with a 3-note cycle. I was going ba ba bum ba da bum ba da bum ba da bum 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. Now let's do a 4-note. And the point is, it's not fast. You're not going to learn it fast. You're going to learn it deep. And that is how it becomes a part of you, so that you can play these arpeggios as comes from your ear to your hands, making that association. Good practice is about finding aha moments. If you find yourself in your practice going like, oh, I get that, you're practicing well. It doesn't mean just, doing it again and again and again. It means going, huh, let me try that. Okay, let me try it one time. Oh, okay, huh. Takes a lot of time, a little bit of time at a time. Okay, let's go back to where we were. Oh, it's too dark. Shed the light. Okay, 4-note sequence. So 1 2 3 4, right? Only like really a few good ways to do this, because the sequence itself limits you. 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, right? So right there, I had to do this way. I had to use second finger, third finger, first finger, fourth finger. And then I've got to go back here to the second, first, fourth, fourth. I guess I could have done this second, first, third, fourth. And the reason that I didn't is because then I have to hop back. And I don't like hopping back and forth and hopping back and forth and hopping back and forth. And how did I learn this? By going really slow and doing it over and over again. So I go 2 3 1 4, 2 1 4 4, and then this time I might actually go. Watch this. I'm going to go 1 2 3 4, because I don't have to go back now, because my next note is this one. And so now I'm going to go 2 3 4 1. And then you might just decide to limit your options, because however that you want to and however that works for you. Writing it down for yourself, I highly recommend writing your own tabs, right, for yourself, because getting it into your head that way is another way to enter it into your memory banks, into your mind, and it all happens up in here in your mind, and then it translates to the instrument. And that's the other reason I really recommend using a drone, because then every time you're practicing, you're just practicing technique, you're practicing scales, you're also doing ear training at the same time. So here's another lesson on the CAGED sequence and how to proceed and how to get those naughty little, nasty little triads. So simple, so effective, and a little bit challenging, and has a lot of variety to move through them. So I hope that was helpful, and play more guitar, and be good to your mama. And subscribe and follow, and yeah, blah, blah, blah.